What up, ladies and gentlemen? This is something new, brand new for the year, brand new for both of us here. But this is going to be a show that we call Up to 4 Players. My name is Riley, and I'll be your host today. And with me, I have my buddy David. David, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is David, pretty much, yeah. And it's going to be, I guess, not exactly a co-host, but just here also.
Yeah, David will be here every so often. I kind of roped him into this just because we do share a lot of our bad habits and tendencies when it comes to a lot of our hobbies and, you know, buying a bunch of stuff. Exhibit A being our group chat we have called Bad Financial Decisions. Love that. But yeah, so today for the very first, I guess you could call this episode 0. We're just going to basically do a little bit of answering some questions that we have, talking about some of our video games preferences and likes and all that, just to kind of get the ball rolling. As this series develops and we continue on with either more people or with a larger group, up to 4 people, we'll be talking about anything hobby related, board game related, pretty much anything we want. This is just a means for me to get together with my friends and just talk about whatever, because we do that already. So why not make it more fun, so to speak? So let's start off with the very first question we have today, which is, do you remember your very first video game?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was the Super Mario All-Star Pack that includes like Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
Dang. So that's a little bit more old school than me, I think, because I honestly don't remember the very first game I played. I just remember like when my brother played. But I think for me, the first thing that comes to mind is Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo 64. That was a fun game.
Right.
Did you ever beat that the pack or no?
Not as a kid, but as I grew up, I think I've beaten everything on it. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. I'll give you props for that. Diddy Kong Racing you can't really beat, but I remember thinking I beat it and I was so happy. But it's a racing game. You can't beat it. I think you just unlock everything. I am waiting for that game though to be re-released on the emulator for the Switch.
Yeah.
That and Pokemon Coliseum. Those are gonna be fun to play with you. But cool. So I'm glad we both remembered it, because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since those very first games. But moving on to the next question, which I think is kind of hard for me, so I'll let you take this one first again. But who is your favorite video game character? And why?
I don't know. That's actually really hard too.
We didn't prepare any responses for these. We literally pulled this question list up like 10 minutes ago, and we said, all right, we ball.
I actually don't know for like favorite game character.
Okay, what about your like most recent favorite game character then?
Shit.
It is hard. I mean, I guess I can go if you need more time. I would probably say my favorite video game character is just kind of weird. Red from Pokemon, like OG. And that, I don't know why.
Oh.
I don't know why. I just think I like the idea of the silent protagonist. He's just kind of there. His literal goal was just to like be the best, and that's what he did. And when he was done, he just fucked off and went to the top of a mountain and just chilled. I also just really like his team. I love Gen 1 Pokemon, and like, I don't know. I just think he's pretty cool. He's like the first thing I remember really young, because I played like all the Pokemon games. And then also when you played Silver and Gold, being able to go back and fight him again, like as your second as the other character, I thought that was really, really cool. But yeah, I would say like overall he's like a solid choice. Other than that, I get the stereotypical things. I would say one of my more recent favorite characters in a video game though is Joel from The Last of Us. Just love him as a character. He's not really a hero. He's just a human. He's just a dude doing what he needs to do to live and live his life. And I'm so excited for that show, by the way. But anyway, I hope that gave you enough time to think.
Yeah, like,
So
well, if
what
you're
do you
going with
got? What do you got?
red, I'll also go Pokemon. For a game I recently played I played Pokemon Scarlet. I know most people probably got Violet, but I got Scarlet, and for there I like Penny.
Penny,
She,
interesting.
yeah, because she's evolutions. She's how Team Stars kind of cringe,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
she acknowledges that, and then she's like, yeah, that's why like she wanted to make the things cringe because it's like it's special that way, like
True, true.
the Hasta la Vista thing. Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad I at least got to that part of the game because I guess that's like a spoiler alert. But hey, it's been a while since the game came out. But interesting. I didn't even think about the newest game. Honestly, not gonna lie. What's the other girl's name? Nimona.
Yeah, Nemona.
I actually really like her. I know a lot of people like shit all over her for some reason. They just think she's annoying or something. I think it's funny. She like just does not give a fuck and just wants to fight you always.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think like Penny is also like the more real of like the more normal person of the group. I would
Right?
say because like I don't know if you could fit into the last like Area Zero.
I
Spoiler
literally am like about to go there. Like I went to the elevator and I saved the game before we went down.
Okay, but like spoiler alert, she's like the realist. Like you guys are talking down there with like your friends and stuff, and she's like the one that has just like the realest responses. I feel like
She's
it's like the most real.
"Why
Doesn't
are
feel
we
like
down
video
here?"
game. Yeah, it does not feel like video game like the way she just talks.
Oh, okay. Understandable. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't really take you to be someone who like cared that much about the Pokemon characters. But then again, me personally, I just don't pay attention to anything in those games.
I mean, I don't mind. I kind of like Scarlet's story. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was yeah. I think they really kind of made all the mechanics of the Pokemon games like blend really well into the story of that new one, especially with like HMs, the Herba Mystica. I thought that was really cool. I know it was a fantastic game overall. Honestly, did you run into bugs? Because I feel like I never really did.
The only bugs I ran into were visual bugs, and they weren't even that bad.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had anything that like destroyed the game or made it crash. But cool. Is there any other game or I'm sorry, any other character or anything else you want to mention for that question?
Favorite character wise, not specifically. I don't think. Yeah.
Not to worry. All right, so the next question number 3 is a game that is underrated. I have one actually, and it's kind of old.
Let me open my Steam real quick.
All right, Steve. So while you do that, I'll talk about mine. Did you ever hear or play a game called Army of Two?
It sounds familiar.
It was like Xbox 360, PS3, or like early PS3 days. So I don't know when, I forget what year that is, but yeah, Army of Two. The whole premise of it is, it's exactly how it sounds. You're like two dudes from the military who like work together constantly, and they basically become mercenaries. And you just it's meant to be a co-op shooter where you just run in and like you just play through the story. I think you get betrayed or something. It's been a minute, but they had a really weird and interesting concept in there, or mechanic, where one person had aggro and the other person didn't. So it was like an MMO in that context where, yeah, like you would have one person, like player one is just unloading. They're firing a lot. So they're pulling literal aggro from the NPCs. And then player two can like sneak around and get to their flanks and then unload on them and start pulling aggro. So it was a really weird concept to see in an FPS like that, where they actually utilized an aggro system in it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. They had this really cheesy thing too, where it was called back to back, where you just like, you literally are back to back with your partner and you're just shooting in a fucking circle, and it's so funny. But I thought it was so cool. And that was like my first introduction to like the the payday masks.
Yeah.
That was they had the masks too. They had like the skull mask. They had the different like variations and stuff like that. And because it was a co-op shooter, me and my brother played through that one. We played through the second game, and you can still play the game today, like on Steam, but apparently there's absolutely zero online multiplayer availability. You can only play split screen. And I was like,
Wait,
damn,
that's
that sucks.
that's awful.
I know. I was like, damn, that really sucks. Because that would have been a really fun game to actually go back to and like play through with like you or someone else. Because I've been really wanting to play some co-op style game like that. But yeah, I would say that is a pretty underrated game. Because I remember a lot of people like just thought it was garbage, and it probably was. You know, I was young, but I really enjoy it for the nostalgia and the fact that I got to play a game with my brother. But yeah, that'd be my underrated game.
I just saw a game in my Steam list that's making me laugh because it is underrated and it's not a good game.
Oh no.
It's the one we played together before.
Let me guess. Is it Typing of the Dead?
Yeah, I just saw that scrolling down.
Of course, it's Typing of the Dead.
I don't know. Underrated game.
That could be considered an underrated game because it is actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it is, but it's the game's kind of just whatever.
Yeah.
Underrated. Like, are we thinking underrated? Like, people don't like it, or just like you don't think it's that popular?
It could be either. It could be either because like a game could be warranted as underrated because no one thought it would be good, so then therefore no one played it, and then it turns out it's like, hey, this game's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the concept of like a lot of people, and like at some point, remember how a lot of people were like shitting on the Souls games because they're like, these games suck. That's just the same thing over and over again. Like technically, you could say number 2 is kind of underrated because it wasn't the best of those games, but it was still good. Like for the concepts and all that, it was still a decent game. But yeah, I don't whatever. Or you could choose something that like some of us have shit on that you like, like a game that you like, but like other ones just kind of judges you on it.
What is it? I don't really think there's like a guy. Well, I'm trying to think. Something I feel like people normally wouldn't play, or like a lot of people don't really play.
Well, there are a lot of games that you have played on your Steam profile that not a lot of us have played. Maybe only like Emily has played.
All of them are like single player. Well, I guess there's Ender Lilies.
Okay, yeah, that works because that game came out like at a time where there was a lot of roguelite kind of games coming out.
It's a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Not roguelite.
It's not roguelite? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like Hollow Knight. It's basically almost the same plot as like Dark Souls and Hollow Knight.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So it like came out at the same time as Hollow Knight, didn't it? Like shortly after?
No, I think it's way later. Hollow Knight came out a long time ago.
Did it really? I feel like a lot of people still play it like consistently. Almost as
Hollow Knight came out like 2017.
Oh damn, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, Ender Lilies came out in 2021.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
I thought that game came out a lot later, or a lot earlier. Yeah, later. Interesting. I don't know much about Ender Lilies though.
Because like it's pretty fun, and you can speedrun the game too. They added like custom options you can put on, but like the story's not bad. Just a quick play. You can 100% the game pretty easily. It's not too hard. Well, I guess depends how good you are at Metroidvania and platformers, I guess also.
True, yeah.
I play a lot of those, so it's not that bad for me.
Yeah, you do play a lot. I feel like an average player, because to most people, platformers are hard. I know that like even games like Mario can be difficult for people sometimes when it comes to like certain jumps and stuff like that. So yeah, and you're also kind of cracked at a lot of those types of games. Like you got too much.
Chicken Horse.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Ultimate Chicken Horse is actually hilarious. I can't even call that an underrated game because a lot of other people like it. We just don't play it a lot. But all right, you have to have one off the top of your head for this next question. What's your guilty pleasure game?
What do we mean when we say guilty pleasure game? Like what we would just play all the time? What we like playing? Like...
No, I would say like something that people would either be like, why? They would just you say like, oh yeah, I play this game a lot, but like, why? Why do you do this? Or
old school RuneScape.
Yeah, I for me that would work because I'm just like, why is it? I mean, actually, that kind of works out because you're into Final Fantasy 14, so why the hell would you go back to RuneScape when you play something like that kind of deal?
I don't even know why. Like at this point, it's just like sometimes I'm playing it, I'm not even having fun. Like I just don't know why. I just
I
play
think
it.
that's called an addiction, brother.
It's not really well, not really addiction, but it's just like I don't know. It's just
You're literally doing what we make fun of Final Fantasy 14 players that stand just in Limsa for literal hours on hours and hours and not doing anything with the game.
I mean, I just stand not in limbs up because I'm just AFK actually. Like I open Final Fantasy and I go lay down in my bed and I fall asleep. So like actually right next to me in my bed and I just pass out.
Understandable. But yeah, I think RuneScape counts. RuneScape is, I feel like, is your guilty pleasure because you always go back to it in some shape or form.
Even if I take a long break and I say like probably not gonna go back and I end up going back to it.
And I also think that might be the. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, is that a question on here? I don't know if it is. I was gonna say the longest game or like the most hours in a game you've ever put in. Would you say it's RuneScape?
Not RuneScape. No, it's actually not RuneScape.
Would it be CS:GO?
No, it's Final Fantasy 14.
Is it really now?
Oh wait, no, it might be League, right?
Probably because we've only physically played Final Fantasy for like 2 years.
Yeah,
League's been out since we've been in high school.
I mean, I started like right when it came out of beta.
Final Fantasy?
For League.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, that's even longer than that's like, the fuck was that?
that was the cap from my water bottle. Apparently, I just shot it out distance.
Yeah, I think I want to say your most played game has to be RuneScape or CS:GO.
I have more hours in Final Fantasy than I do in RuneScape actually. I checked the play time.
That can make sense because you time out in RuneScape if you're AFK, like you would not like how you would be in Final Fantasy, so you would accrue a lot more game time there.
Yeah, but for sure it's League with the most hours if you're just
probably.
time-wise.
That's disgusting to think about, honestly. How many hours of our life we've wasted on that game. For me though, I would say my guilty pleasure game. I wouldn't say there's one single game. It's more of like a genre. It's more of the that like management style games. So like one of them, which I don't play often, I play it like once every like 6 months, I would say. The YouTuber's Life game. And the like that style of game.
Oh
with, yeah. Well, no, not the YouTuber's Life. The other one, the game developer one.
Yeah, where you make games. You
make games and shit like that. That would, I don't know why, I just enjoy them. Like I love mobile games in that context, but not like gacha games, so to speak. And I mean, I just love simulation style games. You see me play fucking SimCity a lot, or not SimCity, City Skylines.
Yeah.
The fact that we play Total War, like I just love those styles of games. So.
Just the Sims also.
Yeah, the Sims and dude, I have way too many hours in Sims. I wish I had bought it on my computer versus my PlayStation just so I had more freedom to play, but you know, it's whatever. But yeah, I would say those would be my my guilty pleasure games. Those like management simulation styles. I really don't know what I would. I'm gonna modify this next question. Instead of what game character you feel most like or wish you were, I'm gonna say what world, like what video game world do you wish you could be in instead?
Oh wait, there's a question for that.
Is there one like that? Okay, fuck.
Yeah, it's this picture of a game setting you wish you lived in.
Oh, okay. Well, how about instead of a game setting, like that can be a little bit different. Instead of the character we feel most like, what character do you think is the coolest? Like, if you played through that story as that character, then.
As the character?
As that character. And no MMOs.
I mean, well, MMOs wouldn't really count, right?
Well, I'm thinking if you imagine yourself as your Warrior of Light in Final Fantasy, punching fucking, what's his name in the face? Xenos?
Yeah.
Not Xenos. What's his name?
Oh, it is Xenos, right?
Is it Xenos? Oh, I'm tripping.
Dude, you good?
Dude, I haven't played the game in a minute.
Damn, what?
In all honesty, I would choose Pokemon.
I guess, but Pokemon's kind of
it's kind of a cop out, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be cool, you know, if I was one of those, if I was a 10-year-old kid, just wanted to do what I wanted to do. I think that'd be cool, because all the other games we play are kind of ass to think about if you're gonna live through that life.
That's true. Yeah, I would probably just choose Pokemon too, honestly.
Specifically, I would choose Silver or Gold or Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Just the fact that you can play through both regions.
I mean, if we're just talking about Pokemon in general, it wouldn't be a specific game. It'll just be like the world of Pokemon.
Just the world. True.
Yeah, I would say Pokemon also, though. Good.
All right, so next question. The most annoying character. I have one. It's not really the most annoying. It's just the first thing that came to mind. Was Donald from Kingdom Hearts.
Wait, why?
Just wanting to heal, or just constantly healing himself. And then all you hear constantly throughout the entire game is Donald.
God.
It was just the first thing that came to mind, but I wouldn't say he's the most annoying character. I would say like any character that like made you want to like they were the enemy and you just wanted to murder them the more they spoke. Like
Asahi.
Yeah, Asahi. That was the exact same thing. One I was thinking of right now. But I didn't have a huge connection to him because I skipped through the entire story of Stormblood.
Bruh.
Dude, that was the fastest I'd gone through an expansion. Annoying characters though. If we're gonna keep on the trend of Pokemon, Whitney's Miltank. That was pretty
annoying.
That shit was hard. It was hard if you had like a shitty team.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I played through that, bro, that was terrible.
What do you say as an annoying character though?
Just someone who's annoying, who either bothers you like character wise, like they talk the way they talk, how much they talk, the shit they say. Like if someone's just like a constant roadblock between the character, like the main character, and progressing. You know, anyone who sets you back, kills your companion or something. I really like I'm trying to think. I really can't think of a character recently in any of the games that I'm currently playing that are really annoying. Other than like in Civ 6 when you spawn right next to like Genghis Khan and then turn 3 commits war crimes against you. Someone is calling me and it's paused my screen.
Oh, I see it. You completely paused.
And it's not, you know what's funny is it's not even someone in my life. It's a spam call. There it goes. We're back in it. I don't even know I can't even put my phone, my camera my phone into what's it called? Into do not disturb or like airplane mode because it'll turn off the connection to my computer. So then my camera's just off anyway. But yeah, back to the question. I have no idea. No idea what.
Dude, I would just say all the new characters in Boruto.
It's not a game.
Well, it said annoying character. It didn't say game character. When everywhere else it specified game character.
Bruh, the literal name at the top of this list.
I don't really have a lot for games. I don't really have a lot for games. I'll tell you that right.
Yeah, honestly, I have more for shows than anything.
Mm-hmm. More for shows than games.
Man. Oh well, we'll just move on. What's your favorite game couple? Fuck, dude, I don't even know.
Game couple?
I can't even think of.
Let's see.
What games have I played? You know what? I'm gonna pull you. I'm gonna pull up my Steam list and see.
Okay. Favorite game couple. Does it have to be like a canon couple?
I guess you could choose like your ship if you really wanted to.
The ship that I will die on, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
All right.
Among Us, dude, that's my favorite game couple. Among
No,
Us.
shut up.
Oh wait, I just thought of something annoying, character-wise.
What?
Age of Empires 2 AI.
You know what? It's not really a character, also, technically, but I would say any AI in any RTS game.
Any AI in any RTS game.
Yeah. Remember when we tried StarCraft 1?
StarCraft 1, dude.
Against the AI?
Literal like Zerg rush somehow.
Yeah, they weren't even playing Zergs.
It was fucking wild. They just have way too high APM, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say favorite game couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a canon couple, but from League of Legends,
Oh, Jesus.
I would say Seraphine and Renata.
Hello?
What?
I mean, I haven't kept up with anything League, so like those two just don't seem anything. They don't even seem like they like interact at all.
Probably not, but it's just something I saw, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna explore more.
You're just like, I'm into it. All right, understand.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Man knows what he likes. I would say I don't know if this counts because it is a game, but I haven't gotten to the games yet. I've been reading the books first. But I would say Geralt and Yennefer from The Witcher. I would say that's my favorite couple. But I more so am enjoying them in the books as a couple, and I know that the games kind of get a little weird. But I would say I think that'd be my favorite one. All right, here's a good question, brother. What do you think has the best soundtrack?
Well, considering how literally yesterday or a day before yesterday, new Final Fantasy patch rolled out, new Alliance raid is out, and the music in there was kind of buzzing. I would say
I haven't heard it yet.
I say Final Fantasy 14 as a main.
Say the 14. I can agree. I can say it does, dude. I can't get over the great.
But it's also technically not fair because it's an MMO with a lot of expansions out, so they have so many choices also.
And they take things from past games too, so
and remake them.
And they like add them into them. So I would say that still counts because you could consider like for example, I personally would probably say something like Kingdom Hearts because of all the different openings that they have.
Yeah.
I love those that soundtrack. Excuse me. And I don't think I could choose between like the first game, the second game, like Sanctuary. Like I can't choose that over Dearly Beloved, like even Face Your Fear.
Those are I think those are really good. I think a lot of people thought that the third game didn't have as great for the opening and the ending songs, but I like them still. So.
I would say definitely for the third game, it did take me a minute. Like when because I heard the song before the game came out, like how they like released it, like Skrillex and everything. Like I heard the song without really any context or reference to like what was going on. But then once I heard the song in game, that's when I was just like, oh yeah, bro, this is pretty good. The only other soundtrack I would say is pretty good, but it's not really something people pay attention to, is the Civ soundtrack. Some of the like Civilization themes that they have are pretty banger, dude. Like they just get you hyped half the time. All right, what do you think then is the saddest scene in a video game? I have mine, and it's only because it's just more relevant now with the new show coming out. But I would say, did you ever play The Last of Us or watch like the story?
I seen the playthrough of the first game.
Okay, so it actually is from the first game, and it's like the literal first, like the opening. This is spoilers, by the way, for the show and for the game. If anyone,
I mean, the game's been out for a very long time.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the show's coming out. This is a way for a lot of people who don't play games to get into it. It's gonna happen, so spoiler alert. But yeah, the very beginning of the game, when shit goes down, like everything goes to hell. It's like 15 years prior, I think it says, before where the game actually takes place. when he's escaping, when Joel is escaping with his daughter Sarah, and he gets confronted by that Marine or soldier or whatever, and the soldier gets the orders to like kill everyone. Bro, like the fact that Joel goes to take the bullet, like he takes the bullet and it goes through him and like hits his daughter. Like she doesn't get, I don't think she's the one who gets directly shot. I think it actually hits him and kills her. And just the fact that as soon as that happened, his brother comes in, like takes the dude out too, but like he wasn't there in enough time to save them. And it's just, oh dude, I am not ready to watch that scene live action. Like it's gonna destroy me this week. Yeah. I'm so hyped. But I would say that's probably one of the saddest scenes. There's a lot of sad scenes in that game, but like that set the tone for what was gonna come. And boy howdy, does it come. It's wild.
For me, I think saddest scene in games, I don't know, it's just, I don't think I have like one I think is the saddest, but I find like what really gets me is games where you're like, you play as the main character, but your main character like dies at the end.
Dies at the end? Interesting. Do you have an example?
Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like it's games like that. It's like you've been with the character the whole way through, and you know that like, and it doesn't even help because the Crisis Core came out after Final Fantasy 7.
I was gonna say, so you already know like the backstory, essentially. But then you get to live through it and understand it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. That's a really good example. Because I'm not familiar with Crisis Core, but I know that whole concept and the whole story. And I do want to play the new one or the remake that came out for it. Yeah. But I still haven't even played 7 yet. But yeah, I think that's a really good one. Because yeah, you get a lot of backstory. You get a lot of like, you know what happens. And so now you're playing as that. You're like, well, shit, I know what's going to happen, but how does it happen? And you just kind of like forget about it.
And you learn more about your character too throughout the whole thing and everything.
Yeah. That was a good one. I like that one. All right. This is probably going to be a highly debated question, but what do you think has the best gameplay? I don't even know what to say, honestly.
Hollow Knight.
From what I've seen, it does look pretty good. It looks pretty smooth and solid. It looks like it's well refined. I personally... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say Hollow Knight. Well, it's also because I like platformers, and the game feels pretty smooth.
True. Especially for a platformer.
Yeah.
I think I would actually honestly say Total War 3 for Warhammer. Or Total War Warhammer 3 is what it's actually called. But just because there's so many factions, dude, you have all of the factions in the entire, like, all 3 games coming together to plan a big ass map. Like, I'm telling you, dude, I wish you had stayed into that game because it would have been so much fun to play with like you and Dom, like the 3 of us trying to do shit. It gets intense. But I just love the army aspect. Like, you control the units. The fact that I have a good computer and internet now, dude, it makes things go much smoother and so much better.
One thing I don't like about Total War gameplay, though, I don't know if they change it in 3, but in 2, I don't like the artificial difficulty they add when you like do harder difficulties. Like one of the artificial difficulties they do is like the automatic like negative public order you get.
Oh, I see.
Like a lot of like, it just like at higher difficulties, it's the negative public order passive thing is so high. Like you basically just need a whole army just camping in one area,
just staying in that area.
That's what I don't like about it. Like I don't like things that give artificial difficulty.
That just like spike it for no reason. But it makes sense though too. In the context of that game, like that game isn't designed for you to just steamroll and capture every settlement and then you just own it for the rest of the game. It's meant to be a thorn in your side constantly.
But I would rather they put the difficulty elsewhere, like maybe the enemies have like better units or like better AI playing for them, stuff like that.
I see.
Or like better planning, better units.
Understandable. Like I get you. I see where that's coming from. But yeah, that goes into a whole thing of like balancing in game stuff. But yeah, I would say I just love that style of of unit control, like seeing those huge armies like fight together and being able to zoom in, like be on level, like the camera with the on the field.
Yeah, I love watching my whole army get destroyed from across the map when I can't even see the enemy units.
From the fucking chaos
Chaos
warriors.
Yeah, I love watching my whole army just disappear, and I'm just like, oh, that's really cool.
The hell cannons or whatever, dude.
Yeah, they just hit you from across the map, and like I can't even see them yet, and I'm already like half my army's gone, and I'm like, that's really cool.
You're like, interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a fun. Okay, this is a little bit simpler. What is your gaming system of choice?
PC.
Just PC. Okay, aside from PC then. Because I feel like PC is just like all inclusive, especially now. Like you can play almost any game on the PC.
I mean, if I don't have either of these, but I would choose PS5. I like PlayStation over Xbox.
Okay. I think I would also choose PS5 just because that's, I mean, yeah, like you said, I don't have Xbox, but I've just been a PlayStation like user for as long as I can remember. Like I have Xboxes, I just don't have the newest one. But
also, I have more exclusive. Like before, before when games are still more exclusive back then to consoles. I think I had more games.
Yeah, no, it did. It had a lot of like higher profile people or companies.
PlayStation had more games that I would play. I feel like Xbox had a lot of sports games, and I cannot care for sports games.
You know what's interesting too is I'm pretty sure, I don't know about it how it is anymore, but back then it seemed like Xbox was a lot more American oriented or like Western oriented. Versus PlayStation was
because it's like Sony versus Microsoft also.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we got so many different exclusives for the PlayStation, and that's why Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a PS5 exclusive. Like I'm pretty sure there was a recent thing that came out where they stated that they had no plans of moving it to Steam like at all. Like they're going to keep it just on the PS5 or something. I don't know if it was true or not, but hey, cool. I have a PS5. I'm chilling. Okay, interesting. What is a game you think everyone should play? Critically acclaimed MMORPG.
Final Fantasy 14. I would say Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, all right.
Yeah. But it also it's kind of a harder game, a little bit. I think if you're not used to gaming.
I think it's still something that people can definitely get into because I mean it's playable on the Switch. I know that much. And like if something can translate really well to the Switch, especially if it's controller oriented, I think it's a pretty solid game in my opinion because like for example, trying to play an FPS on the Switch, garbage. Remember, like we tried Apex, like that was a shit show.
I didn't do Apex on the Switch, dude.
You saw it though. You were in the room with us when it happened. It was terrible. Oh shit! I just smacked my microphone. My apologies. But for me, what a game that everyone should play. I think. I just thought of another game that I could have mentioned like a bunch of times. But a game everyone should play. A co-op. I'm gonna change it to a co-op game everyone should play. Everyone should play at least once in their life. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
Not Dark 3? No
Dark
love
Alliance.
for 3?
Sorry, Dark Alliance is what I meant because there's only 2 games in the Dark Alliance series. So it's Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is what it's called. But those 2 games are so much fun, like co-op wise, like just running around with a friend and just like messing things up. Such a great game. Baldur's Gate in general, I haven't played 3 yet. It's a single player game. I do have it ordered. I got the collector's edition, so sadly I can't do the early access because I have to wait for the code to be sent to me when the game actually launches. But I haven't played Baldur's Gate 1, 2, or 3, so no nothing on them. I do want to play those, but I'm specifically talking about Dark Alliance 1 and 2. They re-released it. It was originally a PS2 game, and they just, like, over the last couple months, re-released them both on Steam, on the PlayStation, and on Switch. I'm so hyped. I'm gonna buy it everywhere so I can play it again because it's so much fun. Which kind of leads us into the next question of, so story game. What's a game that you've played more than 5 times?
Story-wise?
Like a story-based game. There's no reason to go back to it other than you really wanted to play it again.
Oh, it's like the Metroid series?
Metroid, that works.
Yeah, I just like playing. Well, it's not even for the story, just for the gameplay. Like, just trying to get better, like, beat the game faster and faster.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I would say
multiple Metroid games, like Metroid Fusion, I played and beat a shit ton of time. Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Dread. Well, I don't think I've ever beat Dread 5 times. I think I've only done Dread 3 or 4 times.
I feel like in this context, with how many times you played the other ones, like, you're good with 3 times if you've ever played it. I would say for me, Resident Evil 2, the remake, 2 and 3, like how many times I played through that game to get all those trophies. Hey, I got pretty good at running around in that game. Okay, this is interesting. What's your current or most recent video game wallpaper you've used?
I actually don't have. I haven't used any. They've all been like, I have an anime one, I think, and that's it. And a Slowpoke one, and then.
So Pokemon would be.
My phone is just I guess Pokemon, but that one I put up a long time ago, and it's on my other computer.
Oh, true. Well, it's your wallpaper in some shape or form. I guess mine would technically be Gundam. Like, that's what's on my main monitor is the new Gundam. So, I guess that's what mine would have to be. For posting a screenshot from a game we're currently playing right now, I'll put an image up on the screen over our pictures to showcase it. But I mean, for me, one of the current games I'm playing is just Project Zomboid. That's really all I've been playing because I've just been building Warhammer since I moved to this apartment. But you said RuneScape was yours, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could put a better screenshot, but that was the picture I posted in another chat recently because I was.
Yeah, I saw that. But, yeah, so I'll post those with it. So we'll move on to the next question then, which is, what is a game with the best cutscenes? I think I would have to say for me it would still be The Last of Us because it plays like a movie. And a lot of them were pretty seamless transitions, if I remember correctly, which I don't really, but the acting in those games were phenomenal. Like, oh my god, dude, so good. And like, I've watched the behind the scenes and everything like that too, so I can really you can really see it in those actors when they're doing it. Like, all the voice actors did the mocap for it, so it's all based on their facial expressions, everything, and you can really see that like commitment come through on the screen. So I would definitely say for me the game with the best cutscenes would be the Last of Us series.
I would. So, trying to think. I would say like maybe off the top of my head, there might be something else I might think is better, but off the top of my head, either Nier Automata or like Kingdom Hearts, I think have pretty good cutscenes.
Yeah, you're right. Kingdom Hearts. As much Nier as I've seen, I would also agree there. Nier is actually really, really cool. I think the only reason because I thought about Kingdom Hearts as well, but I think I have such a quarrel with Kingdom Hearts 1. You can't skip the cutscenes. And like, that's the main reason why I hate them, is because.
Well, are you tired of fighting Riku over and over again?
Bro. What does he say? My friends are my power.
Yeah, what about the second fight? Well, I won't let you have Kyrie's heart or something?
Yeah, it's just like,
God, I hear that like
so
100 times.
Or the end of the game when you're like, you're in that like arena on the beach, so and you like jump into it
Oh
every
yeah,
single
yeah.
time. Like I don't know how many times I saw that animation, but I was like, bro, his knees are gone.
Wait, if you, I don't remember. If you die at any point, do you have to redo the entire ending, or do you just respawn at the most recent boss? Can you
I
continue
think
the most?
I think there's certain bosses. The bosses that have multiple phases, you have to do the whole fight over again. Because I remember there was just one boss that I had difficulty with, which was that fight. I forget what specifically it was, but I remember seeing the three of them jump into that arena like multiple times because I couldn't finish it. Given I did play the game on like not the hard, was it? Did I play it on proud? Is there only 3 difficulties in that game?
Well, it depends. Do you have Final Mix or the original?
I don't remember. This is when I played it on the PS3.
On the PS3? Can
Yeah.
PS3 play PS2 games?
No, it was one of the re-releases for them.
Okay, yeah.
But I
then
don't
there's three
remember the name.
Because the original only had 2 difficulties, but the re-release has 3.
So what are they? Is it? I thought Proud was the highest.
Yeah, Proud is the highest for the re-releases.
Okay,
Because
so
the original only had normal and expert. And I don't even know what the difference was. It wasn't that big of a difference for me to
okay,
notice.
so I definitely played the first game on Proud because I got my ass handed to me constantly. And then when I played the second game, I said I'm not doing that again. I'm playing it on normal, and it was the easiest goddamn thing in the world.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. So, oh, this is an interesting one. Your favorite antagonist from a game. I have one. I just thought of one, and I don't even know if it really counts because he's not really the antagonist until the very end. But the Fallen Order ending when you're running away from Darth Vader.
Oh.
Dude, that was fantastic. I loved that whole part of the game. Like, I thought the game was good the entire way through, and then you get to that part, I lost my shit, dude. I was just like, oh, like, I purposely died multiple times just so I could see like what happens, like if you get caught. Like I was like, there's no way that like technically Cal should not be able to get away from that at all, but he does, and I'm just like, I gotta see what happens. And boy, howdy do I! It does some stuff happen. It's great. I would say though that's probably my number one like antagonist in recent times.
Recent times wise, favorite antagonist? I don't know. Antagonist, huh? Hard choice. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's like a favorite antagonist I have. Where I would go like, oh yeah, I really like this bad guy or anything. Or like video game wise. Because like, let's see, what did I play? Final Fantasy, RuneScape.
Yeah, because you only play like FPS like recently.
Yeah, a lot of Valorant. Favorite antagonist.
My
Randoms like get in Valorant.
Myself. I choked. Now I'm the antagonist in my anime story.
I don't really think I have a favorite antagonist. No, say.
Is there any that stand out to you? They're just like, oh, they're really cool. Let me open up the list. Let's see. What games have we ever recently played together?
What's some trials that we've ran in Final Fantasy?
Dude, you telling me you don't love Titan when he just smacks you off of the off of the
Oh, antagonist. I would say Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh?
Yeah.
That's from that's from the last Alliance raid? No.
No, sorry. Final Fantasy 5. But he's also in 14.
Oh, I see.
I like Gilgamesh. Like, it's just really like his boss music I like a lot, and then like he's a really dumb character, and I think I just like him a lot. Yeah.
True. All right. So into our favorite protagonist. I think Cal Kestis.
Cal?
Cal Kestis would be my choice for this one, just because such a breath of fresh air for a pro tag, and like his story and his concept is really, really cool. I really enjoy it. And I'm really excited for that new game to come out. I want it so bad, dude. I bought his lightsaber when I was at Disneyland, and it's sitting on the shelf behind me, and oh, dude, it looks fucking fire. Shit's heavy, dude. I gotta show it to you if you ever come to visit.
I would say your favorite pro tag. I would say Zach from the Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just think it's a cool character, and I don't know, I just like the way his character is. Like, sure, you only see him really for like one game, but
hey, that's all it takes, you know.
Yeah.
All right, now to that question that we almost answered earlier, which is, what video game setting do you wish you lived in?
I have a couple Pokemon, like we said earlier, right? Is one. I got one of my big Pokemon trainer. I wouldn't mind living in the world of RuneScape also.
World of RuneScape, interesting. Very like
old school RuneScape.
True.
I feel like RuneScape 3's world is a little more fucked. I was gonna say Final Fantasy 14 also, but then I thought about it more, and I'm like,
there's
maybe
a lot
not.
of world-ending calamities like waiting to happen.
Also, if you just think about it, like a lot of people have like kind of shit lives. Like, you could be an Ul'dah, and you can be like poor as hell, or like poor as hell Limzo, or like
true.
You can be in Doma, and you were like, you just been murdered on a whim.
Very true, because I was thinking the same thing. I was just like, Final Fantasy 14, that place, everything looks beautiful. It's like, but I'd probably be broke. I don't think I'd have the million of gil that we have in the game.
Just live in Charlian. What do you mean?
Oh, no.
Be a scholar.
A video game world. Honestly, I think at that point I would, even though it is kind of fucked, I would probably say any of the Star Wars games, because I just love the franchise so much, and I love the world, the whole universe. I would probably say any of the Star Wars video games, honestly. All right.
So be on the planet that gets randomly chosen to get Death Starred.
Or no, even worse, Star Killer based, where they kill like 19 planets in one go.
Oh yeah.
Shit's wild. All right, so our favorite genres. Shit.
Metroidvania.
Is that a genre?
Yeah, Metroidvania is a genre. Metroid, Castlevania type games.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hollow Knight,
what is
Ender
happening
Lily.
to my OBS? My OBS just like freaked out for a minute.
Yeah, I just like those games.
Okay, Metroidvania. I would say any kind of like. Honestly, I think I would actually stick with this. I'm gonna stick with RTS. I really enjoy RTS games. I loved StarCraft 2. I still wish you didn't have a shitty experience, because I wish I had someone to play that game with.
I'm not a really good RTS player either, which makes me like not want to really enjoy the game, because like not good at all.
Bro,
like,
that's how I feel about all of our FPS games that I still play with you guys.
For me, it's just like I'm not like at least somewhat decent at the game. It's just not fun for me.
I see. Yeah, I think RTS is the main genre, because that's like the one game I'm actually good at. Or one genre I'm actually good at. All right, so the best story, overall best story, doesn't have to be related to cutscenes, which is story overall.
Final Fantasy 14.
14?
Yeah.
It is pretty good. You know what I'm gonna say though? I'm gonna be a little bit of a jokester with this one, but I do really like it. The Resident Evil story. It's just all over the place. It's just like, all right, whatever you say, dude. Punch that rock. Fucking fight that crocodile in the fucking sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, there's werewolves now? Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
They got psychic powers, bro.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god, that's the one I didn't get in 8. If people know what I'm talking about, the fucking guy who like controls metal and stuff randomly.
Dude, well, it has to do with the fungus or something. Because remember in 7, what's her face, Evelyn?
Yeah, I didn't know
Like,
fungus that you control electric magnetic fields and other stuff like that. Like,
apparently fungus also makes werewolves, dude. It makes you turn into a dragon with a blood disease.
God, that's the.
It's a wild story, but I love it all the same because we started off with just zombies. And that was it. Actually, even in the first game, in first and second games, shit already got random and wild. Like there were sharks in there. There was the different like
Dogs,
the G virus, the fucking like frog things. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, like it was already wild to begin with. It really didn't like get super crazy. It was just there, like the fucking in 8, the giant fish dude.
Oh yeah.
It's just like hello.
God.
Okay, here's a good one. A sequel that disappointed you.
Really, if you're going from 5 to 6 in Resident Evil.
Yeah, that was a huge.
I didn't like 6's gameplay. I did not like it.
They made a choice, and they have to. They lived with it, but they learned. That's the thing, though, is they learned. But yeah, I would definitely say 6, especially after 5. After 5 being a really like, it was kind of campy. It was really kind of like weird, but it was a fun co-op Resident Evil game.
I think another sequel I would say is going like Killing Floor and Killing Floor 2. I know Killing Floor 2 was more well made and like they made a lot of upgrades. But I don't know, the simplicity of Killing Floor 1 I just liked a lot more.
Yeah, I can see that being an issue. For me, a sequel that disappointed.
Are you gonna be one of those people that say Last of Us 2?
No. I actually really liked Last of Us 2. I know a lot of people didn't like it for several reasons, which I'm not going to get into right now. But I think everything that happens in that game, it makes sense from a human standpoint. Like just as like you living as you yourself, like it makes sense. But I would say this is kind of a weird one for me because I didn't really play this game a whole lot to warrant like my disdain for it. But I really loved the very first Dawn of War game, the Warhammer 40k Dawn of War RTS. They came out with a second one, and I remember wanting to play it. Never did until like last year, and I bought it. Completely different style of game. It's not the same type of RTS. It's like you control like a squad now, and that's it. And it's like a highly praised game, but it was just a game that it's not what I was looking for. So I was really disappointed with it, and I was like, damn, I was really wanting to play 1, but the updated version of it. Because 3 is garbage apparently. But yeah. Oh, okay. Next question here is, what do you think has the best art style?
I'll tell you right now, I'm not gonna say Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, there's definitely more out there. I don't know why. The very first game that came to mind for me for this was the new God of Wars. Like the scenery and everything, like the settings in the 2018 God of War just looks so beautiful. Like all the set pieces. And like I haven't played Ragnarok yet, but like from the trailers I saw, like it looks just as beautiful, like if not.
If we're talking about realistic art style, I'll say like Elden Ring. Which I'm pretty sure God of War and Elden Ring at the Game Awards were pitted against each other for best art style, right?
I don't know actually, were they?
I think so. I think who got it? Was it Elden Ring?
I didn't watch the Game Awards, so I don't know honestly.
Yeah, Elden Ring won. Game Award for best art direction.
Oh, okay.
But I would say that, and then I would say like not realistic. I kind of like the Hollow Knight art style.
Hollow Knight does have a very unique art style. It is very nice. Yeah. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that like has an art style that really popped or stood out to me other than God of War. And it wasn't even for the realistic like portion of it. It was more so like the theme that they took, which is Norse mythology, and like they translated it into that. Because Yes, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, same thing, Norse mythology and going into the aesthetic of Vikings. But I
Mhm.
just for some reason feel like God of War did it better.
Oh, can we go on a tangent real quick? Now that you brought up something I actually
Alright.
was thinking about.
The
So you brought up Assassin's Creed, right?
mhm.
You know what? I didn't even realize how many Assassin's Creed there are out now. There's so many. And I feel like it's becoming one of those games that just gets recycled every year at this point.
Mhm.
Like I don't even I'm pretty sure they even said they're taking out like they took out the main story, like present day gameplay. You know how like two you play and one you and it's like
Yeah, yeah,
you play as Desmond and stuff.
Mhm.
I think they said they're taking all that out. And it's gonna be like
Yeah.
separate. I don't know. It's just and I also just feel like I feel like the games goes on for so long. I don't know really the story of the games at this point.
Mhm.
I have kept up that. I played one and like two, but and I read the books for two also,
Oh,
and I
nice.
enjoyed those. So it's just I feel like it's just being milked on for too long. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe I guess the gameplay is decent, but I was talking to some people and they say they like the gameplay, and I'm like, okay, but
Yeah, I think you're right, honestly, because I love those games. Like I own every single one of them, and the reason I like them is because of the set pieces, the like where everything is set, the theme of it all. And a lot of people agree. Like some people might not. They might be okay with the current timeline parts of the story, but to me, the games always were more focused on that time frame that you're playing in. So like when you say you don't know what's happening in the story, shit, I don't either, so to speak, because to me the story is each of those individual stories. So like the first game was Altair, the second Brotherhood Revelations, that's Altair's story. I'm sorry, that's Ezio's story. The third game is Connor. The fourth game is Kenway, which is also kind of weird because the third game you're playing is a later time period, or is an earlier time period than the fourth game, because the fourth game is the ancestor to
is it
the
that
third
one?
game.
I think yeah.
Yeah, because Kenway, which is the name of the character in the fourth game,
Mhm.
it's like his son. I think it's his son or grandson that goes on to be the main antagonist in the third game, which is, spoiler alert, the dad of Connor in the third game. So yeah, there's like that weird thing there. What was the fifth game? Was that Origins? No, that was
I don't even know what order they
yeah.
came out in.
This is when they start getting funky. I think after 4 was the one in Paris, Unity. I think it was Unity,
Mhm.
which that was when like shit started hitting the fan. But Unity, I love that concept of doing the French Revolution. That sounds so cool.
Mhm.
The next game was Syndicate, which is the industrial era of London, which is really cool, especially the DLC they released with Jack the Ripper. Like that's such a cool concept. After that,
You mentioned like they like you're playing it for like the separate stories and not really for like the current present time stories. But I just don't like how they originally had it as an idea, like they wanted them in parallel, kind of like they said, like okay,
yeah, they wanted to
and
make
then
it
they
like,
just kind of cut it out entirely, and they just went like, okay, yeah, whatever, this doesn't matter
yeah.
anymore.
It doesn't help that like they kind of fucked around heavily with Desmond's story in the beginning. Like they made him like a really shitty character.
Mhm.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm good to end the Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed conversation if you are. So
yeah.
on to the next one, which is what's our favorite classic title. Now I don't know what is a STEM, or like what we can like say is a classic game at this point, because I feel like we've gotten old enough to the point where like even the games that we played when we were young are now classic games.
Oh yeah, because we're old.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Classic, I would say Metroid is my favorite. Classic.
Metroid. I
Not,
like.
I actually don't really like the original Metroid that much, just because there's no map, or at least I don't know how to open the map if there is one. But I never found out. That's the only one I don't like.
I don't know if you can hear that. There's a motorcycle just ripping through.
I heard it when you were laughing. I think your mic picked it up because you're laughing.
Probably. Okay, so Metroid for you. I would say my classic title.
Mhm.
I think I would have to specifically. So yeah, I've thrown this out there a lot today, but I would have to say specifically Pokemon Colosseum, or specifically Shadow of Lugia XD.
Oh, actually, Gale of Darkness.
Gale of Darkness, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
That one was a fucking banger. I don't. Now I sound like a fake fan because I don't remember the name, but that's how long it's been.
Fake fan doesn't know the name, dude.
I don't know the name, dude. Sorry, I don't have like $200 to spend on a used copy of that game. A game on your list to play. Okay, so a game that you want to play, but you haven't yet. I think for me right now,
like a game that's out already.
Yeah, that's out, or like that's gonna come out soon.
The new Star Wars Survivor.
Yep, that's definitely on my list.
Yeah.
I have a handful, so I would definitely want to play that. I want to play through Dead Space, the remake, when it comes out. Resident Evil 4 remake. We're gonna do that one. Probably stream that one too. That one's gonna be fun. I want to play Ragnarok because I'm waiting on that one. There's the Marvel Midnight Suns game. It came out like a month ago. I bought that one. I haven't touched it yet. But I think those are like my anticipated games for the next couple months. Other than Final Fantasy 16, but you know, that is what it is.
I'm trying to think if there's any other game.
I think there are. I think we had a few that we talked about a couple like days ago. But I don't remember that they are. That just shows how much I pay attention. But if you think of one, we'll come back to it. We have a couple more questions left. The next one though is the best voice acting. So what game do you think has the best voice acting in it? I'm surprised you didn't just throw out there League of Legends.
I don't know. I don't really think of voice like, oh, when I play games, like, oh, the voice acting is so good or something like that. I don't really have an thing to say like a good opinion for that.
It's hard to say honestly because I feel like this just sticks out for all of them. I would say if I had to base it off of that simple phrase, Last of Us would be on there because those voice actors are phenomenal. Oddly enough, I would say a lot of games that I normally don't like. Like League actually has a lot of good voice lines in it, like because they use a lot of voice actors that are in the industry.
Valorant.
Yeah, Valorant. I would actually also say Uncharted. Uncharted has really good voice work in there. Let me think. I think there's one more that I can think of. Oh, dude.
Oh, actually, no. I know one too. I can say one.
What's that?
Devil May Cry.
Are you thinking of the one line that I'm thinking of?
What? Now motivated.
Is that from 5? Is that the one that I'm thinking of?
I don't know. It's at 5. I think it's also from.
Or is it 4?
3 also. It's whenever you play as Virgil, you can. I think.
Okay. I don't remember which games you can play as who,
But I think Devil May Cry has good voice acting. I haven't played 1 or 2, but I played 3 and 4, and I've seen 5. I still need that's on my list to play. I need to get 5 and play it.
Dude, you know what has the best voice acting that we completely forgot about?
Yeah, Typing of the Dead.
Wasn't what I was thinking of, but I was thinking more along the lines of Resident Evil 5. Sheva!
God, that's fucking.
Chris! Best voice acting, 10 out of 10.
7 minutes is all I can spare.
Oh my god. Dude, you know what?
Favorite. I kind of like Wesker as an antagonist. I'm not gonna lie.
He is a character. He is something. That man's wild, honestly. But this kind of goes into the most epic scene. I feel like we can kind of do the most epic and the most what the fuck. I would say the most what the fuck scene in a video game is like the entire ending of Resident Evil 5. It's him just going full like tentacle man. Chris punching a rock.
Yeah. We're just basically in a volcano right next to lava. No problem.
Yes, just super easy. We both have rocket launchers that we shoot right next to each other and somehow hit him. I don't think an explosion would actually happen if they hit the lava.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh yeah, we're just in an active volcano. We're fine. We're not drying out. We're not being burned alive or anything. It's fine.
I like how that is our what the fuck, but then if you think about like the ending of 7 and 8 where it's like giant mold monster.
Hey, no, that makes more sense.
Somehow. But what do you think is the most like epic scene in a video game?
Spoilers for Final Fantasy 14. The final fight of the main Endwalker.
The one where you're punching?
Yeah.
That it was pretty good. I can't really say it's epic, only because it just looks so funny when you have a tiny little dragon girl who normally wields a staff beating someone's ass.
Yeah, but I like that one, and then I just think that like the entire like last part of Endwalker.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Last trial, the last like leading up to that, stuff like that.
I would say, dude, honestly, I'm surprised you didn't say that was like your saddest moment in a game, because that story's pretty sad. The end of
it's not the saddest, I would say.
Hey, true, it's not that.
I was
sad.
more sad from like Shadowbringer and like 5.3 of Shadowbringer.
I think for me, the end of 14 or Endwalker specifically, I'm sorry, would be more like, it's like, damn. The stream of self-consciousness sucks, because that's essentially what she experienced. She learned to learn, and it was just like, yo, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to say another thing that I said earlier, which was the Darth Vader scene in Fallen Order. I think that.
Yeah, I would think that's great. Yeah,
I would say
yeah,
that's
I would
probably
agree. I would
my
agree.
most epic scene. Just that whole concept. I was just like, alright, shit's getting like lit.
I love how like you fucking get out, like basically you use the entire elevator ride and he's just already there.
Yeah, dude, he's just, what up, bitch?
It's like he doesn't really run, right?
Oh no, he doesn't. I think there's only ever been one scene.
Because I thought like his like Darth Vader's like mechanical parts are really heavy. That's why he doesn't really he's not as agile as he used to be.
Yeah, no, he because of everything, like the way that his body is, he has to be powerful. That's why his strikes are like, it's just non-stop, constant force.
Because that's why he fights differently than when he was still Anakin. Because like Anakin did flips and shit everywhere.
Yeah, Anakin was like the most versatile fighter, and he definitely had to change up his movement. Yeah. That's why he uses the Force more frequently as Vader, because he has to at that point to close the distance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's why he looks really stupid when he like jumps or like he does the like leap forward. He literally just goes burn. But it's still menacing to see this man's, because I think they did a really good job of like showing his posture when he does that, because he has his lightsaber straight down, like pointed to the ground when he does that jump, so it actually still makes him look intimidating, versus like if he did that but he had his like lightsaber like straight up in the air like but the next question here, which I think I honestly kind of think this one's hard, who do you think who's your favorite game developer? Because I don't think I'm able to come up with one specific one.
I think what really I like in game developers are when they listen to like the community, make changes and stuff like that. Like Final Fantasy 14. I think that's a great like game developer.
So Square Enix.
Yeah, but more specific 14, like Yoshida and like the people on his team, I feel like are really good.
Okay.
And then actually one that for a game I haven't played in a while. Phasmophobia.
Who's the developer for Phasmo?
So I watched a YouTuber for Phasmo, and he played with a game developer for like a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, one of them, I think his name is CJ. He's fucking hilarious, and like honestly for Phasma, they made a lot. They make a lot of changes. They like listen to the community. They make I think they're really good.
Yeah, they did really really well, especially like how big that game got and that they were able to respond to it still. I
Yeah.
think really shows that they cared about it. I think for me, it's hard to say because I love Naughty Dog's games. They're the ones who do Last of Us, Uncharted. I also really enjoy Square's games, Square Enix. I love Kingdom Hearts. I love all the Final Fantasy games. I'm still playing through all of those. But I would even say FromSoft as well.
Oh yeah.
Like,
FromSoft.
Just
You're
as
right.
like overall, like they know how to make solid games without, and I think my favorite thing about those games is how much story they can make in just the settings and
Yeah.
just like context. Like there's no real dialogue in the game. Like you get dialogue, like you get like 4 sentences every like hour. That's about it. I think
Also, the thing of FromSoft, they're not afraid to make their games hard.
yeah, they really don't care. Like that's what they strive to do. And like I understand the flip side of that, people who say like, oh, the games are too hard and how can a normal person just enjoy it. I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense, because it really isn't like a game that you can just go in and start. I think Elden Ring is definitely a lot easier in that context because it's open world, so you can explore, you can figure out where to go and
Yeah, but imagine like Dark Souls 1.
yeah,
Dark Souls
if you jump
3.
straight into Dark Souls 1, dude, and like if you're not lucky on that, like imagine this. You play Dark Souls 1 for the very first time, don't know anything. You get to that first demon. Was it the greater demon? On the bridge? Or on the wall? The Taurus demon. You get to the Taurus demon. You smack it a few times. He jumps off the wall. You learn nothing. You have no idea what to do. You just killed it randomly. So now you continue on. What's next? You run into the dragon on the fucking bridge.
What's next? You go up a tower and you run into a random Black Knight up there.
Oh yeah. Well, any of the Black Knights. So like before that, then if you want to think of that, you go down the little like sewer thingy, and you run into a Black Knight there. Like not even a boss, it's just a hard enemy. Like there is so many things that can go wrong for a new player in Dark Souls 1 that will just make it impossible for them if they're not like determined enough to like stick through and just kill it, or they're not savvy enough to pick up on like what you need to do. I definitely think Elden Ring makes that a little bit easier with that open world part of it, because you can just kind of go wherever, explore. Oh, this is bad, okay, let me come back to this later, versus I'm in Blighttown, I have to go through Blighttown, what do I do?
That is true.
But yeah, so now this next question is a game you were surprised that you liked.
Let me go to my Steam profile real quick.
All right, I'll talk about mine then. It's actually the game I've been playing most recently, which is Project Zomboid. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do now, especially because when we first started playing it, like a year or two ago, I didn't really care for it. Like the others wanted to play it, so I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. I'll hop in, and it was whatever. I honestly kind of didn't like the concept at first, but for whatever reason, in the last like 2-3 months, I was just like, all I can think about is like, I'm gonna play Project Zomboid. Like even right now, I'm thinking like, as soon as we're done here, the recording's done, I'm gonna go play some Project Zomboid. So I would definitely say that is the one game that I was very surprised that I ended up liking in the last few months here.
For me, look, I don't know actually. A game that I randomly got and I really just enjoyed it. I don't really see anything on Steam.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, honestly.
Oh, Phasmophobia, I guess.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense because you were all over that game, dude. That was like, let me see, Phasmophobia.
I think 97 hours, but like a lot of that was 97, but a lot of that was like all at once. grinding it out.
Yeah, but dude, we got the game at the same time, and I felt like I played a lot, and I barely have 50 hours. Like
Dude.
you have nearly double my hours on that game.
I have a couple games I'm looking at right now. I see the hours on them, and I'm just like, when the hell did I get this many hours?
When did I have this much time?
Yeah, like, when did I actually get 229 hours on Dragon Ball Fighters?
You were all into that game.
Some of these
All
games
right.
I don't.
Wait, so right now, what are the top 5 games on your Steam profile?
This is only Steam, so it doesn't have Final
Power-wise.
Fantasy. Yeah, so it doesn't have Final Fantasy, doesn't have RuneScape.
We know those are up there regardless, but
Doesn't have anything from Blizzard, doesn't have anything from Epic Games either. Which don't really have much.
I was like, I don't think you would ever get remotely close from those games.
Alright, number 1 in this list is Warframe.
That makes sense. You played a lot of Warframe when I first met you.
I'm at 1,086 hours right on it. And I haven't played in like
1,000 hours.
well, it's been like 3 years since I last played. 3-4
Been a
years
minute,
since I
yeah, since you consistently played.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I played Warframe. So that's number 1. Number 2 is CS:GO at 756 hours.
Jeez. I will give you like 100 of those hours were you betting skins with people.
Nah, not even 100. It was only maybe like fucking 8 hours, not much. Well, I should have played CS:GO.
I don't know.
Rainbow Six Siege. Oh, I don't even play CS:GO anymore. I'll mostly play Valorant now, but Rainbow Six Siege is my number 3 game at 496.
Okay. Still quite a bit.
PUBG's the 4th game at 349.
Damn.
And a lot of that was during the PUBG hype, you know?
Yeah, when it first like came out, or like shortly after, before Fortnite and everything came out.
My 5th game is Dragon Ball Fighters at 229.
Damn.
And I haven't played it in a while.
You know what's wild is your 5th most played game is just is barely below my first most played game. My most played game on Steam is Counter-Strike, CS:GO, at 303 hours. My second most played game is Rainbow Six Siege at 303 hours.
Did I actually play that much? Oh.
Yeah. My 3rd is Civ 6 with 239. My 4th is Tabletop Simulator, which actually makes a lot of sense because I use that to play D&D quite a bit. So that's like 4-hour gaming sessions every time. And then my 5th most played is Total War Warhammer 2 with 179 hours.
My tabletop is at 54.
That is
hours.
Ridiculous.
And my Total War is only 44 hours.
You said how many hours for Tabletop?
54.
That makes sense, actually, because I did at least 2 other campaigns that you were not part of.
Mm-hmm.
So we shared 54 hours, most likely. I have Apex on here too, so Apex is probably higher because this was only when it was on Steam versus when it was only also on Origin. I have Lost Ark though as like number 6, which is kind of wild to me. But Zomboid's making its way up there.
I don't have anything really on Steam making my way up there. I got Dead Cells. Maybe I've been playing that again recently.
Yeah, I think Total War 3 will eventually make its way up there. But yeah, we play a lot of games, or at least we used to. I feel like I don't play as many nowadays, but that kind of leads us, hours don't mean anything. Because what would you say for the final question? What is your favorite game of all time?
Like I said, I wouldn't say RuneScape because I don't know. I wouldn't say that's my favorite game of all time.
I have mine, which is funny, like what I'm about to say this, because I haven't said anything related to this game at all in any of these questions. But Fallout 3, I would have to say, is my favorite game of all time. That game is so much fun. It is just the right amount of wacky, the right amount of like serious. The fact that like you can pretty much do whatever you want in that game, and the soundtrack is fantastic. I don't really consider it a soundtrack because it's just
Actually,
actual music from like the 50s.
I have a game that fits everything you just mentioned.
What is it? Let's hear it.
It's Typing of the Dead. Okay.
I'm about to end this call right now.
Oh fuck, Phil's favorite game, huh? I don't know. Final Fantasy 14, I guess. All I can think of right now.
Damn, dude, you're so vanilla.
What do you mean?
No.
It's a critically acclaimed MMORPG.
Sheesh.
I don't know actually favorite game because I don't really have because my favorite games change really a lot. Like sometimes I didn't need to play a lot of one game and I just switch and so I don't really have a favorite like a number one favorite game.
Yeah, I feel like the way that we talk about games, you do change quite frequently because like you get stuck on games pretty easily, like, and then you'll shift completely. Because we had those moments where we were like all Kingdom Hearts, like that's all we did, that's all we talked about was Kingdom Hearts for a hot minute, and then we got really hooked on like Resident Evil when we played through 5, 6, and then we did the run-throughs of 2 and 3.
The thing was for Resident Evil, there wasn't that much multiplayer besides 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing. I hope the 5 remake keeps the multiplayer aspect, but I don't think it will, honestly.
I hope they even make a 5 remake. I don't know if they will though, because I feel like it was long ago, but it wasn't that long ago. But then again,
5 came out in like 2006, right?
Yeah, because I think 4 came out in 2004. So it's possible. But hey, I mean, it's making them money, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
True.
But yeah, I would say your favorite game probably does switch a lot, because I don't think I've ever heard you say like what your all-time favorite game is, like ever.
Yeah, I don't really have one like all-time favorite.
Damn. I guess you're just not cool.
Dude, it's just nothing like all-time favorite for me. I don't know.
Nah, I get you. I mean, it's always good to have like variety, you know? That way you're not just always constantly falling back to something. But yeah, so that was the 30 questions related to our video game interests. Now, I think there's a lot more that we could talk about on some of these things. Like, hell, I feel like we could go on tangents about certain franchises over and over again. But yeah, I think that is a good amount of time. We went for about an hour and a half, which is more than I thought we would. So I'll take it. We could probably do a little bit of cutting up some of those breaks and pauses we had, or me like smacking the shit out of my microphone a little bit. But yeah, that was fun. I'm excited for the next episode. You know, hopefully we'll have another guest on with us, and maybe we'll have like an actual topic of discussion that time around, rather than just being like, hey, what do you want to talk about today? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to add on to this discussion before we end it out?
No, not really. I mean, unless we talk about like a game. Oh, games. Been playing recently a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it's really just been Project Zomboid. It's all I've really played. I guess Total War 3 here and there too, but really haven't had too much time to play games in the last like 2-3 months.
I downloaded a gacha game on my phone. I've been playing it recently.
Jeez, which one?
Alchemy Stars.
It sounds familiar. Has anyone? Have you guys been talking about it?
No, I don't think so. Only I've been playing it, but I've been I've spent money on it, and I'm well, you know, didn't spend as much as I spent on Genshin. That's for sure.
Oh, I bet that's another topic of conversation. I think if anything, we'll hold off on the topic of spending money on random things until we get Niva on the on an episode. We'll just title that our group chat name. But cool. Well, thank you for joining me, David, for this episode 0. We'll call it still. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And if you enjoyed it, or you want to hear us talk more shit randomly about whatever we have on our minds, subscribe to the channel, follow the links in the description for other content as well. We have the Instagram, the TikTok, and the Twitch. If David wants me to post his stuff, I will in the description. But we'll see about that. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye bye.